So David, do shifting economic expectations and some of the supply chain conditions that we're seeing right now maybe pose potential challenges for the citrus industry? What have you seen in your own research?
Well, we can take that in different uh, dimensions, right? So we may see in terms of inflation that we see a persistent inflation. Still, we're expecting that by the end of the 2024, still inflation is likely to be above 3%. So that is still is continues to impact consumer purchasing power. But on the bright side, we see that prices for fresh produce have been showing lower consumer price index than many other categories. So now they have become a good alternative for consumers in this environment with elevated inflation. So now on the grower side, and one thing is particularly interest rates. We may see three interest rate cuts by the second half of 2024, accounting for 75 basis points total. So that's our expectation. So the cost of money is likely to decline by the second half of this year. So that's a good news. And there is a lot of different moving pieces as inputs that are in a better position compared to 2022 and to 2023. But on the logistics, there are some concerns, particularly what has been happening in the Red Sea that may has the potential to disrupt the supply chains, particularly as now they are diverting trade to go all around Africa. So those containers that used to make 4 trips a year, China to Europe, now they will make only two, and that may impact availability of containers. And over the past 2-3 years, we've experienced how bad that situation can be. So also we have the Panama Canal, low water levels, also creating a bottlenecks. So that may impact not only trade but also inflation in general.
There's various fruit drivers that you've seen in your research that have established can create opportunities for citrus. Maybe what are you seeing there? How could that affect this industry over, say, the next 5 years?
So we've seen some relevant demand drivers over the years have been what we call this powerful combination of healthfulness, convenience, taste, versatility. And you see that those products that check those boxes, they've seen increasing popularity and also increasing availability in the US market. And in the citrus category, we see increasing availability of mandarins or easy peelers, the whole category, also lemons, given the versatility, and also and limes. So newer generations, they really prefer this convenience and taste. So that's a good that's a good opportunity for some citrus categories. And now, like as we discussed, now newer generations such as the centennials, they are adopting some habits of past generations. So we saw that oranges were quite popular in previous generations. So now I think for the industry these centennials going back to adopting old habits that has the potential to position citrus categories and as a favorite for these new generations.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You said in your presentation as well that you see this with new generations that they go back. It's not just with food consumption; they go back and adopt previous trends. So it's interesting to also see that with food consumption, two seemingly unrelated things, but the same trend. David, a number of crops in California right now, we're seeing acreage being pulled in tree nuts, in grapes a lot too. For citrus, though, the industry seems to be doing pretty decent. Do you see any more room for acreage in any of the crops that we grow here?
Well, probably not in terms of acreage, because you have these restrictions imposed by water availability. But probably in terms of production, we could see increasing production even in lower number of acreage, as you are now with better management, a higher density, new cultivars or higher yields, things like that. So now it's not only to increase acreage, but increase efficiency and adopt cultivars that are more input efficient, that provide higher yield, better quality, or the combination of all the above, right? So as the imports have been increasing during the U.S. off season, also we've seen that the overlap between the U.S. The domestic season and the import season has been increasing. So in a more competitive environment, being more efficient and offering consistent quality, that will be key.